So as we continue to head to the 2022 midterm elections, we are now under a year away from those midterm elections. I was talking to our YouTube rep yesterday, and he feels, and I agree, that the 2022 midterm season is sort of going to get going in earnest, probably in mid to late March or early April this year. It's going to be quite wild. And I don't know that it's going to be particularly good for Democrats. There's a real possibility, I won't say a probability, but there's a real possibility that Republicans take the House and the Senate and many governorships in November, next November, under a year from now. And one of the things that I want to let you know is that the 4-year nightmare of Trump has really changed aspects of our politics in a way that goes beyond Trump, to the degree that Trump is no longer a candidate, but his presidency impacts the people that are candidates. As an example of that, I present to you the reality that many 2022 Republican candidates have been accused of assaulting or threatening to murder people, and that in times past, it would be far less likely that these individuals would continue to be viable candidates for office, but they are today. And I believe to some degree, this is thanks to the coarsening of the discourse and the absolutely absurd way in which Donald Trump's candidacy and ultimately presidency has diminished any serious minimum standard for behavior from candidates for public office. So very good article in Slate about this. Ben Mathis-Lilly writes about it and says things might be different by November of 22, but as it stands right now, Republicans are in a good position to retake Congress. I agree. The incumbent Democratic president's approval rating is low. Off-year elections in swing states are tilting red. Rising costs are forcing certain bloggers, himself included, who don't enjoy macroeconomics, not just to pay more for groceries, but to read articles about economics. The key phrase is conventional indicators, and he points out that things are a lot different in this kind of Trump era, pointing out that in recent days, a right-wing Pennsylvania activist and former Army Ranger, Sean Parnell, who was endorsed by Trump in the state's 2022 Senate primary 2 months ago, is now involved in an ongoing trial in which Parnell's ex-wife testified that he once strangled her and has hit their children. In 2019, Parnell made an appearance on a Fox Nation talk show in which he blamed feminism for creating, quote, women tyrants, and asserted men don't want to put up with the BS of high-maintenance narcissistic women. He has denied allegations of abuse. Similar accusations have been made against 3 other candidates in potentially competitive 2022 races, either endorsed by Trump or who have a good chance at earning his support. In Georgia, Trump has endorsed the Senate campaign of former football player Herschel Walker. Walker's ex-wife and one of his ex-girlfriends have both accused him of threatening to kill them. His ex-wife, who received a protective order against him, said he once pointed a gun at her. Walker denies the ex-girlfriend's accusation and says he doesn't remember threatening his now ex-wife. We then go to the Ohio 16th district, currently represented by Republican Anthony Gonzalez, who is not running for re-election. Trump has endorsed a one-time aide of his named Max Miller. Former White House press secretary Stephanie Grisham says Miller pushed her against the wall and slapped her while they were dating during Trump's presidency. Miller denies it. Per the Washington Post, Miller also pleaded no contest to 2 misdemeanor charges related to an alleged 2007 assault. The charges were later dismissed as part of a program for first-time offenders, and guilty to a disorderly conduct charge related to a fight outside a bar. Okay, so there's Max Miller. Moving on. In Missouri, former Governor Eric Greitens is running for Senate, has appeared with Rudy Giuliani, hired Donald Trump Jr.'s girlfriend Kimberly Guilfoyle as the national chair of his campaign. Greitens resigned as governor in 2018 after a woman who was not his wife said he had slapped her, intimidated her into performing oral sex on him, and taken a nude photo of her without permission that he told her he would release if she spoke about their affair. He denies it, says the affair was consensual. However, an investigative committee of state legislators found the woman's version of events credible. This is, I don't want to say that prior to Trump, These folks definitely would have had their campaigns ended by allegations. And remember, allegations are allegations. In some of these cases, they've been investigated and found credible. In other cases, we have denials, etc. But prior to Trump, many of these folks would never think to even run because of the disadvantage that the allegations would have. Now that Trump has proven that it really doesn't matter to about half of the voters in this country what you're accused of, or in some cases, even what you admit to, the floodgates have been completely and totally opened to any kind of character, no matter how unsuited to public office, no matter how vile the allegations against them. This is an example of a change that may be permanent, thanks to the coarsening of discourse and American politics, thanks to Donald Trump and Trumpism. We will see how these people do. I love growing my own food at home. Many of you have seen my gardening stuff on my Instagram. I get great tips from the audience. And one of our sponsors is Lettuce Grow, which is by far the easiest way to grow your own food at home. The Lettuce Grow farm stand is a hydroponic unit that waters and fertilizes itself. You can grow more than 200 varieties of fruits and veggies at home, indoors or outdoors. I love my Lettuce Grow farm stand. I've grown edible flowers, tomatoes, strawberries, eggplant. It only requires 5 minutes of maintenance a week. I can grow 36 plants at a time. It uses 95% less water than traditional gardening. No packaging, no waste. I didn't even know it was possible to grow food like this in a portable unit, but I love it. And Lettuce Grow is giving you $50 off the farm stand when you go to lettucegrow.com/Pacman and use the code Pacman. The link is down below.